I could not imagine being with a man that disowned his kids.
No.
Even if we have kids together, that tells me a lot about you, dude. Like, you can wake up one day and say, fuck me and my kids too.
Yeah. What we talking about today? We talking about
fuck them kids.
Okay, before we start, let's.
We said approve.
Yes, we can.
But other people think we crazy.
We're not crazy, but before, I just want a disclaimer.
Okay.
We love our children.
Yeah.
We love our children.
They're on my heart.
But being a parent isn't always rosy.
No.
So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. But just because we are saying fuck them kids, that does not mean that we don't love our kids.
We don't love our kids, that we don't care, any of that.
They started out as lovable, precious.
She just went in.
Bundles of joy. And as time went on, they turned into demon seeds.
Oh, shit.
I don't know about that's not my story. That's not my story. I mean, me and my kids have moments, of course, but they're beautiful children. But let's just say, any parent today, if you put a picture in a dictionary of fuck them kids in a dictionary, who would you put up there? None other than Brian McKnight.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
You're
my
right,
God.
Though. Yo.
And I haven't even listened to all of the stories that's coming out about.
You don't even gotta listen to all the stories. He crazy. The dictionary picture would be.
First of all, I can't imagine. So let's just talk about that a little bit, because I can't imagine like disowning my kids.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that they would do that would force me to feel the need to have to be like, you know what, like in a true sense, like really be like, fuck them kids. I don't. That's our story. Yeah. There are other people that do feel,
We feel different.
That's,
They have different type of relationships with their kids, and their kids may have done some fucked up.
And he's not even claiming them.
Yeah. Like coming in, you are a public figure, number one. And how does that make your other kids feel? Like, at the end of the day, they can think at any moment, he can say, fuck us too.
Now, how many kids he has in total?
I don't know. Maybe 2 or 3. I'm not really sure. I haven't.
No, it's more than that.
With the first, and then 1 or 2?
Yeah, you got a couple of kids.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
Go even beyond that. As the wife, as if I'm being in a blended family type of relationship, because I'm there now in that space, right? And I could not imagine being with a man that disowned his kids.
No.
Even if we have kids together, that tells me a lot about you, dude. Like, you can wake up one day and say, fuck me and my kids too.
Yeah.
At any given moment. So how do you even have honor or like love somebody like that? I just can't imagine. I cannot imagine being with someone like that.
But a lot of women don't even think about that. They just think of like, because of his stardom, they're like, I'm not his wife, so I don't know.
Get out the window now. People ain't trying to sit up damn shows no more.
Listen, social media has an impact on a lot of that. I don't want to derail the conversation, but you go left and they be taking people's jobs based on what you said. They find out where you work. And that's just the regular Joe. Yeah. Now we talking about the celebrities. Like, you really have to be mindful of how you show up. But in his true form, he was like, fuck them kids. Now, to your point, where did the relationship go left? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, what could have possibly have happened that would have afforded him the even mindset to say, screw you? Did it start off with the baby mama? But even then, it shouldn't, because that should have no bearing on your kid.
It
should not.
It should not.
Because at the end of the day, them kids, they're yours, but they eventually will see how you be acting.
Exactly.
Whether it's a man or a woman, they'll see how mama be acting up. They'll see how daddy be acting. They're going to figure it out if they smart.
He actually spoke up, right? And again, like, we don't know all the intricacies behind the situation between him, his kids, and his ex-wife, and so forth and so on. But she got on social media and she spoke up about it. So to me, in my mind, that tells me, like, whatever may have happened or may not have happened, it don't seem like it was that bad that you'd have to get to a point where you get on social media, a public platform, and disown your kids.
Yeah, that's wild.
It could have been that she said some outlandish shit. referring to the kids that we don't know about. But knowing how he's been expressive in his
For a long
feelings,
time now.
he didn't share it. So I'm not sure. She could have came out her mouth and said some stuff.
Again, it had nothing to do with the kids. Again, that the kids should be totally off limits.
Off limits, yeah.
Whatever's going on.
Say what you want, y'all two take it out on each other.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. But anyways, I have some more samples of.
Go ahead, let's go for it.
Kids. That mom from The Strays, the movie The Strays.
Yes.
You remember that chick? She went and got a whole new identity, got a whole.
Oh yes. That was a good movie. Yes.
Yes.
She definitely was like, "Fuck them kids."
Vows. Not once, but
that ain't
twice. But twice.
And dang,
she was like, "I'm out of here, deuces." I'm not, and I forget why she left to go because the first kids came back.
Yeah.
Were they gonna kill her in the new thing?
I don't remember. Well,
she ordered that Chinese food. So I went to the door and paid for this shit and got on
and
that
she was like,
man bike.
But them kids wanted to kill all of them.
The first set of kids.
Yeah.
That's what I remember. Yeah.
They did want to kill all of them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because she abandoned them.
She abandoned them, yeah. That's the hatred. Yeah. That's the animosity. So you know what? That speaks to something. Do we as parents give our kids anxiety? Do we cause them strife, anger? The way we rear them and raise them up does have an impact on how they show up in the world to some degree.
Yes.
Goes back to how you were. It's like I seen something the other day. It was I forget where I seen that, but it showed like how we bring our shit to our kids, right?
Okay.
So start with your parents, their parents, whatever. And the way the way it was demonstrated, it was like you had a glass of something, right? It was full. It was like a brown liquor at that point. That glass got poured into the parent glass and was still full with shit, basically. Then it got poured into your glass. You decided to keep like rinsing that glass, making that you made that glass clear. So when you pass your shit down to your kids, they didn't come down with the same shit that you kept, the same baggage, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely we can project some of our own shit on our kids because of a couple of things. One, we don't know how to not be that way. We haven't figured it out. Two, because we don't want them to go through some of the same things that we have gone through. So we are probably overbearing in certain situations. Like we're like hammering certain shit down on them because we are afraid for them to repeat some of the things that was either happened to us in our lives or before that. So I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say that some of the stuff that I experienced growing up, I made sure to keep that going with my kids, as in teaching them manners, things like that, the good stuff.
Yeah.
But I also did expose them to certain things that one of my regrets. But I was able to get out of it early enough, at least I thought I did, for it not to have such a crazy impact on their lives going forward. And I'm seeing now, as a result of some of the stuff I exposed them to, I see it now in my kids. So our relationships, I love all three of them. I have 3 different relationships with 3 different kids. I love them all the same, but personalities is just totally different. Yes. I'm just trying to work through with each of them. But 2 out of the 3, yeah, I'm at that point where you're going to have to figure it out. You old enough. You got your own lives. Yeah, figure it out.
And for the people old enough, like what? Let's quantify that.
They're adults.
So
own families, some of them.
I just want to quantify it because everybody doesn't know the situation. Like we know this, but
in the household. But even when you say quantify situation, people can be adults age-wise. They can't be. That's be adults
mentally.
That's a big thing.
It is. I was forced to grow up early. I've been on my own since I was 16. So it's a lot different for me, and a lot of that go-getting attitude that I've always had, all 3 of my kids have them. One of them, I will say he does have it, but it's not as intense as the other 2. Like my daughter, she's all about her money. And I've taught her things where she will always have a side hustle. So even if she's not working, she's got shit going on every week. She's making money. My son, same way. He's a go-getter, but he can be lazy because he's all about that fast money. I love him to death for it. That was a mindset I kind of wish that I had when I was raising them. But I wasn't in the position to do that. They're supposed to be better than me. So I'm all about him wanting to express or explore that side. But you also need to take other advice as well to maintain a lucrative living until you feel that this dream is worth you giving up all your other aspects to make money solely on here.
I feel you on that.
And no matter how much advice I've given, he doesn't want to take it. So at 32, figure it out.
He's wrong. It's so funny you talk about that. I have in my notes, I think when we grew up like a time, it was like, you need to sink or swim. We figured shit out. Our parents
Quickly.
was not holding our hand.
No.
Every step of the way. They didn't have time to, because they was out there trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
Whether they had, lucrative assets or not, they was out there trying to make things happen for us. So they didn't have time to hold our hands. And I think that's one of the things that we changed in raising our kids. We held their hands a little bit
too longer than we were supposed to.
Yeah. Right. So, and then, at some point, like, hands off. Because, and it's not fuck them kids. It's like, it's time for me, time for you to fly. Fly. Like,
get off the tip.
Get off the tip. Be holding your hand for a very long time. Like, if you had to, some of these kids had to go out there and do something, and that's not all kids, because some kids are very, very, very ambitious. They're very independent. My youngest is probably the most independent of all three of my kids at her age.
Yeah.
And I think that has something to do with the time gap or whatever. I didn't have a lot of time to give her the one-on-one time that I did give to my other two. And then they had each other. She just kind of watched and looked, and like, if I want something, I'm going to go and get it. And that's been my mindset too. Anyway, so they all have that. You want something, you got to go get it. You really want it.
Okay.
So, but I do, just thinking about what you're saying, is the time that we grew up and the time that we're raising our kids now. And then also some parents who are very much young parents. It's either they're being friends to their kids or they're saying, fuck them kids, I'm going to live my life.
So I would say this, just to piggyback off of what you said, to some degree. I was one that never always like said yes to everything that they asked for. And sometimes, even if they were deserving, even if they got good grades and everything, sometimes, and the reason why, I'm going to tell you two stories, is one, I say no because at a very young age, I felt like I had to teach them to be resilient.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say no, you're going to go cry, you're going to figure it out, but you're going to bounce back and you're not going to be a bitch ass about it. So I try to tell them no. I'm talking about when they were young, not even double digits. Sometimes you just tell them no, and they be like, "Why not?" First of all, don't.
They need to hear that word.
That's correct.
But they're gonna get told no a lot.
And that's the reason why I need to teach you resiliency, because in the world don't work that way. You can't get everything you want right when you want it.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to be able to figure out, okay, so I didn't get what I want, so how can I do it? Like, so that's why I never always said, I'm like an advocate of never giving everything that they want at that time. Now, the reason where I learned that from was my grandfather, because I was raised by my grandparents. And my grandfather, he was to tell me no, and I used to get angry like a motherfucker. Like, the fuck you talk? One time I got my check and I worked, and I was like working for the summer youth program they used to have in the city in New York. He was like, give me a check. Right. And I wanted to say in my mind, what the fuck you talking about? He like, get the fuck on. Like, get the fuck on, Poppy. But that's in my head. But he was like, no, I'm serious. And I was just like, he's like, you don't even know what to do with the money. Now, he's asking for the check not because he needed the money. Let's just be clear. He was trying to teach me savings and how to handle the money. But he also was an advocate of, when I asked for something, he sometimes would tell me no. And then as I got older, he broke it down for me. He was like, the world is going to smack you upside your head. Yes. And you need to know, when you hear no, figure it out. When there's a will, if you really want to do it, you're going to figure out a way to do it. But he needed to slap me up my head verbally sometimes, and I got it. But I think I don't want to say this generation, there is a generation of kids, they're entitled. Yeah. They believe, I'm supposed to have this. You got to give it to me. And I'm against that shit.
Because it's coming over into their careers at work.
Oh, shit.
It's coming into their relationships. Like, everybody's not going to give you what you want.
It's I had a little bit of both. I was a daddy's girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I had uncles that all I had to do was say, can I? And it was always how much.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, my situation is a little different from you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't married.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of was playing both roles at some point in time.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
there was times I did say no when they wanted something, especially if it wasn't earned, especially where school is concerned. I always pushed them about school. But I always tried to make sure that they had, regardless of the fact. And I think now that I'm seeing things, I'm realizing I should have been saying no a little bit more than I did.
Fair enough.
But you were given the things that you want when you asked for it.
Yeah, so it was like I was trying to
You didn't you emulated that behavior.
Yeah.
So I can completely understand that. I really tried to raise my kids not to be entitled, be appreciative. Now, right or wrong, some people debate this with me, but right or wrong, like if they received a gift that they didn't like, you take it. You say thank you, and maybe you might re-gift it down the line. Facts. Let's just keep it a buck.
People do that shit all
the time.
But
all the time.
at the same time, it's like, don't be talking down about this. She just gave me. I don't really need to be nasty about it.
Yeah.
Because that motherfucker didn't have to give you shit.
And you don't even know what.
And you don't even know. You didn't. That's exactly what my next point. You don't know what they did. They thought enough of you to actually give you something. So you be appreciative of it. You know, and never expect anything. Like when you see if it's your birthday, you don't expect people to be like, "Oh, let me do this for you." No, I don't like that entitlement shit.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it. People ain't perfect. No one's perfect. You know, I try to teach them, you're going to win, you're going to lose. Yeah. This is life. I'm trying, like, even with me, I've always been, and my husband, we share the same thing. It's like, I wanted to raise kids that they go out in the world and they can be productive and be responsible but I'm also, it's only 50% of what we give them. The rest is their own experiences.
Only mentality.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's because they're going to do shit, you know? And I also try to raise them in a way that they can be confident and they know you're awesome. I used to tell them that you're awesome. You're fucking awesome. And don't let nobody tell you you're not. Because the world's going to try to convince you that you're not. And I need you to know deep down inside, especially when you creeping up and you be like, damn, I'm not as worthy. A man's going to make you feel some kind of way. A girl's going to reject you. You're going to feel, you're fucking awesome.
Yeah. Know that for yourself.
And know that for yourself first. So when you do get those rejections, again, that resiliency, you bounce back and be like, all right, bitch, fuck you. You know? Just so.
Expectation that these kids have today, or they looking for the immediate gratification of things. It's, to me, crazy and insane, but it does go back to some of the behaviors that are forced or being forced, right? And then you get the parents that be like, I don't raise this fucking monster, and now I don't want to deal with them no more. So they get that fuck your kids mentality.
They do, yeah.
And but then they're so resentful of the child that they've raised, and they're like, they don't want nothing to do with them. And it could be in a time of need.
I can't. I don't know.
They don't know how to be there for that kid now because they're so like angry with that kid that you created this monster, first of all. So,
unless there was like a mental illness or something that's different within the kid. Or shit, both. Well, no, let's say the child. Like when you say you created this monster, like unless there was like a sickness or something, I can understand where the kid is doing something and you never gave them the tools or the resources they could resolve that. That's different. But when you literally raise a monster that is, you always gave them everything they wanted. Yeah. They was always right when they got into argument. You defend it, which I get it. We supposed to stand up and defend our kids. But there's one thing to defend your kid in front of everybody else. But then when you get back home, you be like,
oh no, you checking up.
You know you fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what's that movie? You know you done fucked up, right? You know what I'm saying? You gotta check them. You know, and sometimes the checking doesn't have to be in front of everybody.
Yes.
But some parents, their kid can never do no wrong. They always, the best. And it starts off with, I always say, and it's not funny, but I be laughing sometimes. You meet those type of parents when you see the kid and they be like, oh, my baby's smart. My baby's smart. Oh, what's your name? Purple. The fuck you talking? You know I'm talking about them little kids. What's your name? Purple. How old are you? Orange. You see, I met motherfuckers like that.
I don't want to hear something.
I'm sorry.
I want to hear something else. So you said there's one thing when they raise these damn crazy ass kids. So another thing if the kid has something going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you understand a parent saying giving up authority hands up in either of those situations?
No. I'm saying that they should, as a parent, if you notice something when they're young, you need to be the parent.
Yeah.
Do what you're supposed to do to give them the right resources for them and for yourself. Because some parents, when they notice something's wrong with their kids young, it's a shame. They're shameful. They're embarrassed, and it's like, dude, you're not doing right by your kid. You can actually, maybe depending on the situation, help them out of it or help them at least be functional so they don't become a monster. So I think there's there needs to be accountability on the parent side. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But I mean, listen, I have moments where I said, fuck them kids. And I don't mean literally like, fuck y'all. I want to do with you, none of that kind of
stuff. It's situational.
They used to do things that used to tick me off.
Okay.
And I called it going on strike back then. But now, you see the fuck them kids memes and shit going around all the time. Like there's one where the parents, they go order their Uber Eats and shit, and they sit down on the couch and they eat, and the kids like, where mine? And they looking at them like, y'all crazy.
Yeah.
They grown? Yeah. And these are grown kids? Oh, shit.
Shit. So, but for me, like if I would cook and my food is sitting in the refrigerator for 3-4 days. I would literally go on strike.
Oh, I have done that.
And I would not cook.
I've done that.
They're lucky if I even bought groceries in the house. But I would buy
especially when they're grown.
I buy like frozen shit or whatever. I never forget my daughter was like, Mommy, could you please cook? I'm tired of eating frozen this or frozen that. Oh, now you want me to cook? Yeah, I'll cook. But I used to do stuff like that. And to me, that's like a little something like, well, fuck them kids type of situation.
A little bit.
The longest I've gone on strike cooking was 6 weeks because I hate fucking dishes in the sink. And they would just sit there, take all the dishes and cups out of the cabinet, using them and not rinsing the one that they used prior to it.
You know what I did?
So one time them dishes sat right in that sink.
I got some that Richard
for 6 weeks, when I saw the first fly,
oh no,
that's when I went off. But I stopped cooking. I didn't go back food shopping no more. Whatever was in there, whatever they used up, that was it. To the point that the cabinets was bare. And I think that was the first time I had ever let that happen. I was going to dinner after work before coming home, so I wouldn't be eating in front of them.
They were like, what?
And they went back by, you would have ate my food right in front of them. I did it a couple of times, but there was times I just didn't feel like dealing with them because I would come home and I knew the dishes were still going to be sitting there.
She like eating oxtails like, what? Good.
Go in your bedroom.
Got my rice and peas and cheese.
I came to your house a couple of times.
My goodness.
Just so I wouldn't go home and deal with them until they finally, and the whole house was clean and spotless.
Let me tell you what I did with the dishes. It's the same shit. Well, it's only 3 or 4 of us in this house. Why is every fork, spoon, plate in the goddamn sink? I'll pull everything out except for 4 forks.
Richard did that.
4 plates.
Yes.
It was 4 of everything.
Yep.
So they needed to use a dish because I didn't use paper plates. I don't use paper
plates in
my house, right?
Right.
So they had no choice but to wash a dish if they wanted to eat something because I put all that shit away.
Listen, my husband Richard, he did that shit. And it wasn't just he packed up 6, like you said, 6 because there's 6 of us. 6 forks, 6 knives, 6 spoons. And forcing them, and they be like, because we upstairs, we can hear them. He's like, we're on the damn floor. Well, they won't say damn, but it was like, they start arguing with each other. You got forks in your room, and we giggling. He was like, and he put it in a paper bag and put it in our room, and they couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. And now, obviously, because that's another thing too. The reason why we did that too is because before that they were just throwing the shit in the garbage.
That's the other thing.
And the thing is, when it's not theirs and they didn't buy it, sometimes you have to teach them. Now, like my son, he's on his own. He's got his own place. He realizes, I went to visit him his place, spick and span. Damn, everything looks fantastic. In my house, you don't want to clean. You want to wipe down nothing. You done ate something. You done made your little dish, little crumbs on the counter. You don't wipe that. He makes his coffee, takes his sugar, puts it out. Sugar be all over. Right. I go in his apartment. That shit is. I said, what the hell is going on here?
To a coaster for your drink.
You know what I'm saying? Don't what is going on? But you know what he said? He's like, you realize that first of all, it's only him, so he's got to do it, and he wants to live it, so he can appreciate it. But sometimes it takes that, like they don't get it, because with us, when we say things, it's like nagging. You know, they don't want to hear that shit, and I'm like, okay, no problem. Same with the cooking. Now, I live in a house with adults, with the exception of one because she's still in college and she's not 21 yet. But for the most part, you make your money. She's self-sufficient, but she didn't realize that shit. When she came home from college and me and Rich be going out she was like, where the dinner? I'm like, oh, we already ate. She was like, what is going on here? She was like, what is happening? And even Miles was like, I said, look, I always to call this thing in my house free for all. Yeah. Where historically that used to mean, especially when I came home working a lot and I just didn't want to make a full meal. So I would literally, it was called free for all. What you want. It was like kind of like a short order cook. Okay. Like if you want a Captain Crunch, because it had 9 times out of 10 they were like, oh, I'm gonna eat breakfast. Knock yourself out. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I worked a lot, so I would do those from time to time. Like, oh, you just want Captain Crunch? Knock yourself out. You want this? You want bacon? Go for it. Right. You want the salad? Knock it. Whatever you want, you get. Whatever, get it. So it would just free me up sometimes. But now that free for all means free to get your own shit. Because I'm just not. First of all, I don't have to. They're grown. Like, you can figure it out. I've taught you how to cook. You know how to cook. Do it. But I think sometimes my parenting practices and practices, some people would judge them, especially, my kids went to private schools and you get these parents that they're just not used to that level of harshness. Yeah. And they used to really like ask, oh, so, so-and-so can't come to the party. No, he didn't get it. He didn't do his homework. Oh, just let him come. No. No. He's not going. Like, you gotta, it's consequences for every action. And if you don't, and people don't agree. And I get it. Some people would have let the kids go. Some people would have let them do this. You raise your kids the way you want to raise them. I'm going to raise my kids the way I want to raise them. I'm trying to teach them that there is consequences for every action. And guess what? The way the world will see and view my kids will be very different than they view and see your kids.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, we won't be doing a Monique in The Finding and saying
she's like, fuck
man, in the reading.
The reading. Yes.
The reading.
That movie?
That was funny.
Oh my God.
So when you have them parents that be giving their kids they want, or the husband done lied and did so whatever the fuck he did, because she was like, fuck you and these kids. I didn't want these bitches anyway. But yeah.
And they were babies. That was the one.
But the thing is, she really did say fuck them kids, but she said fuck her husband. But it's because of all the
things that were going on.
Watch the movie. You need to go check it out. It's a film. Monique played. She
did well. She did that. She did that. Yeah.
But those are things that came to my mind when we talked about this topic. Was Brian McKnight, the mom from the Strays, Monique in the reading. Those really said fuck them kids to me as examples for this topic. Like, what can you all think of that's not personal, like you've seen or experienced or witnessed via people that fucked up kids?
Issa in Insecure, one of the last episodes. Yeah. In one of the last episodes, that shit had me. When I tell you, I was so Lawrence. If you haven't watched Insecure, you need to watch it.
I'm trying to remember the scene because I did.
So one of the last episodes was really towards the end where the dude had the baby with the other girl, right? So she was going into the hospital, and they were like
getting back together.
Yeah, but this before it was a fake scene. Like, it was like and she took the baby, was like, poof, she took the baby. That shit had me rolling because it wasn't expected, but the shit was funny as all get out. Because I could not, and you know why it was funny? Because from her vantage point, like I was with this dude, I loved him. Yes, we split up, but we got back together. He didn't have shit getting on, but and now he popping, and he done messed around, had another baby. So I understood her. I understood where that anger came, because I could clearly see that's me, man. Fuck you and that baby. No, facts. And I get it, because I know I'm married and everything, but I put myself in my the way I have my animosity and the way I'm
But
like,
not to go off topic, but that's a lot of women experience that.
yeah,
They're in relationships.
yeah,
And the man is not being his best self in that relationship. And women too. Women always be their best friend, but themselves in that
that's
relationship.
true.
But then they go into another relationship and they be their best damn self. They give that relationship their
yeah.
It wasn't given to the person that was giving them their all in that relationship. So
Yeah.
that was a real quick off topic thing. Another one was recently this chick found her op.
Okay.
Made it to her op in, I think, the Walmart and shit. She had her 6-month-old baby with her. She threw the damn baby in the garbage to fight.
No.
Wait.
I didn't see that.
It was on stuff. Yeah.
What?
Wow.
That's crazy.
She was donkey of the day.
That she need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
She's in jail, rightfully so.
Wait, let me just make sure I get this straight. The girl,
she ran. So she obviously had beef with somebody.
Yeah.
Okay.
She ran into her while she was in.
So she threw her baby in a.
She threw her own baby.
Oh hell!
Has to go fight this bitch.
Oh, she's crazy.
Oh, she knew she was going to jail.
It don't even matter. It don't even matter.
I know she's in jail now, but she did that knowing.
Mindset was fuck this baby. I'm going to beat this bitch ass.
That's crazy. That is insane. That goes back to, that's a little less to me about fuck them. Well, it is fuck them kids. It is fuck them kids, but you shouldn't have had no kid. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have had no. If you don't, I don't know. Maybe it's me. The mentality, I can say this.
Of things.
Right? Yeah.
Your prioritization is off. Your priorities, because yes, I have my kids young, very young. So that shit changed me.
Yeah.
That shit made me a better person. That shit made
7
me.
years.
It grew up. It made me more responsible.
Yep.
I realized that I am independent of whether before we got married, whether he was gonna stick around or not. Like this kid, when I had my daughter, this she's mine.
Yeah.
She's looking up at me, Google gaga, and I'm like looking down, like I got a person of responsible. They didn't ask.
They didn't ask to be.
No.
You had choices, whatever. Not promoting any of those things, but that's to each individual person. But you had options.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah.
I
chose.
Bring this child into the world. You have every responsibility to be the best parent you can be. You're not
absolutely.
Be the best parent you can be. I mean, listen, don't get us wrong. We're not coming down up because there's a lot of things that are situational.
Yes.
People don't know how to be that best.
Because there is no
They
booklet.
don't know the resources. There's no guide. I don't care how many books are out there.
There's no blueprint.
Because even think about it. And having each one of your kids, you did something different from the first one with the second one.
That's correct.
Something different.
That's correct.
The fucking doctor's exams is different for them too.
Because the things got progressive. Things were different. Yeah.
When I had Day, I used to be mindful of every little thing that she did, making sure she didn't fall, do all that stuff. When Champion came around, I did as long as I didn't see blood.
You bump your head, you all right, bro.
Yeah, you good.
But that's it.
And then the last one,
go drink some water.
Exactly. And then the last one was like, oh, you just got the raw end of the stick. Just go on and play with your sister and brother.
But that's what it happens. I just think that something was unlocked in us when we got pregnant and we had those babies. For some women, that doesn't happen. And that's when you have situations like that where she gonna put her baby in the garden. Like, that's insane to me.
That was the last.
She couldn't even think of.
The last.
Yeah, that's insane.
The situation was, there's no situation to me.
You would have made sure your baby was good before you went and did what you.
Yeah, my baby.
No, I get it.
No
situation.
No.
There's gonna be another opportunity. If you see that person that one time, there's gonna be another opportunity to see that person. And that would be my mindset. Be like,
yeah, I got you.
Right.
I got something.
And leave the store. Take your child home. Because you don't know how to act. So
no, that's insane.
There's another movie on Tubi. I can't remember the name of the
Tubi
movie.
Shit, nigga.
But a guy was with this girl for a long time. They were exclusive, and then he meets this other woman. They had a 2-year relationship. Something happened. She goes to jail, and he promised her that he would be there when he got out.
I know what you're talking about. When she shot the kid.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
I'm sorry. So the concept of the movie's funny, but when it's the production of it, when they shot it, was like, pow.
Yeah.
He was like, but I'm just the kid.
Yeah. She was like, she didn't care. She didn't have no discussion.
You have to laugh at it because I was rolling. Even it was just hilarious. That's another one. And
That
was
was a
like,
good picture.
y'all can catch these hands. That show was funny. No, that was funny. I have a question for y'all. So we're talking about for them kids in the spirit of just kids and child rearing. Because both of you have dated, I mean, obviously you had a divorce and you've been with dates. Like, at what point do you introduce your significant other to your kids? At what point do you feel like it's soon enough? And I'm talking about when they're younger, not necessarily they're grown adults. Okay.
The relationship I had with Don Charles' dad, we were together for 15 years.
Right.
Even now to this day, he's grandpa to the 3 grandbabies. She, he reaches out. She sent pictures when they were all 3 of them were born. So he's grandpa. He's always, no matter what me and him went through, he was always that father figure to them. And to Day he's
that's fair.
How soon did you
introduce them
to Day and Champion?
It was about a year before and then everyone else after that, it was within the year. It wasn't like right away. But it got to a point where Champion and Don Charles did not want to. They knew I wanted to be happy. They were okay that I needed to be happy, but they didn't need to
interact.
They didn't need to interact because at this point now, especially now, they're all grown.
Yeah.
Don Charles was the only one that I had to worry about up until he moved out where it was going to be an issue for him. Champion was on the cuff, and Day was pretty much, she was, at this point, she's on her own. She's a mother of her own. So, but it was always within a year. Yeah.
Within a year of you meeting the person?
Yes.
Okay.
But all my relationships were long term. They weren't like fly by.
No, I did. Yeah, this is my first real long term relationship that I can say, or first relationship that I felt it was worth introducing to my children.
Fair enough.
And by that time they were older, so they could understand. So I really just I didn't want to bring anybody around my kids, especially somebody who I wasn't certain about.
Yeah.
And at that time, even I think I talked about it on the very first episode where I was talking to somebody for a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worth bringing him around nobody.
Yeah.
He never demonstrated the capability. First of all, I didn't know the year had even came and gone. That was the thing.
Yeah.
But this is the first person in my life that I've brought to my kids.
I didn't get to ask you, did he have children of his own?
Cool.
The person that he did.
Young children.
Okay.
And I understood, me not being his kids right, because the same thing, same scenario, younger or older, whatever. You still want to make sure that they're the person, because you don't want to be bringing Tom, Joe, and whoever. The kids all the time. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
What about if the person, like you've been with someone, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here, and not just only in your own situation, but if you have friends or whatever that you know about, but you've been with someone, they've been with someone for some time, they introduced to the kids, but there's no connection. Like that person has no connection with the kid. Do you still stay with the person, or do you, like, what happens? Like you're digging this person, but it's like just nothing's there. What do you do with them?
With the person?
With the person.
The person?
Meaning, like, imagine, let me set the stage. Your children are not grown.
Okay.
They're children.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've been dating somebody for some time.
Okay.
You introduce them to the kids, but it's really no connection. Like, there's nothing. It's like
no connection with you.
The vibe with the kids, like, meaning the vibe between that person.
You can clearly see that he's not.
He ain't vibing. It's off. It's not there. They're nice, but they're not gonna go out of their way to try to make a stronger bond. So what do you do with that person at that point?
Well, that person's not worth having around.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that was one of my fears too, and that's the reason why I did not. Because I didn't want to have to think about that, so that was a little painful for me.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, you can look at that two ways. So one is whether that person's not making the effort to make the connection with your children.
Okay.
Then the other side is your kids don't care how much effort's being made. They're not fucking with that person. They don't want to do with that. To me, you're gonna have to make, if this person is good to you, and it's not to say fuck your kids, but if this person is good to you, and this person is trying to engage with your kids and be a part of your kids' life, and your kids are choosing not to, that's a conversation you have to have with your kids.
I agree.
Just Just as this person is good to me, this person has not demonstrated anything that make me feel like I should not try and make this work. And I'm not, you don't have to love them and you don't have to, but at least try.
Yeah.
At least try.
At least with the few situations that I had, they always tried. There was never no situation where they did not want to engage with them. As I said, Dontra was the only one that made it a hard way to go. And Champion was on the cuff. As long as you was good to my mom and whatever, and we were good. Now, if it really got to a point where it just wasn't vibing, then I would end it.
Yeah.
But now,
well, it's different. They're grown. They're grown.
Yeah. So
yeah.
It's hard on you and yourself. Like you would probably find a balance of being happy. Like I'm trying to make my kids be happy and I'm trying to make this point that it just wouldn't work.
But see, even now is at a point where we're getting older. If that opportunity came along where I'm getting married, there has to be some type of connection. There can't be when now we having family dinners and stuff, and the kids won't come over because of him.
Well, that's
and I don't care how grown they are. There has to be some type of relation. Yes.
Wait. So you're saying no to what? Exactly.
My kids are out of my house at that point.
Okay.
I found someone that's making me very happy.
Okay.
And this person has done nothing to these kids at this point. Why would I jeopardize my happiness? They'll live in their lives.
But see, there's a difference though. I like to have gatherings. I like to do stuff like that. I want my kids there.
I will love
So if it's to a point where there really is no mesh with who I'm about to spend the rest of my life with, it's going to be a problem for me because now I'm going to be uneasy all the time about talking about my kids, about anything like that. In that aspect, there has to be some type of relationship.
If it's on both ends that it's not working and nobody's, but if it's just on one side or the other, like if it's on the person,
but at some point it is going to be on both sides because now if he's offering the olive branch repeatedly,
and they're not
reciprocating it, that's going to make him feel some type of way. So then now when the kids come over or when they do come to visit me, I'm going to have to worry about hearing something from him because now...
You don't know that. You don't, because it's a conversation.
But see, and all that has to take into place.
And here's the other thing the reason why I say, especially if your kids are adults at this point, because they're going on and they're living their own lives. They're making a life partner with whoever they're with. Why should you be alone and not have a life partner because they're choosing not to respect your wishes at this point? Like, this person is making you happy. This person is fulfilling your life in some sort of way. Why wouldn't your kids want that for you, right? So I can see if they don't see any good in this relationship, I can see them not being warm and fuzzy in the very beginning. But as children or adults who respect me as their mother, give it a chance. That's all I ask you to do, is give it a chance. But if you find that you just can't do it, then I'm like, I'm gonna have to be okay with that. I'm gonna have to be okay with that. Because now this is my life at this point. I love you. I don't see your class. But I need to be happy too.
I feel you. Well, I mean, look, I think there's a lot of...
She don't have that to worry about. She's
oh, you know what? I'm getting off this podcast. Just because. No, listen.
We love Black love. We love
it.
Long,
so I'll say this. I'm not speaking into existence, but I'll say this. If Rich and I got a divorce, right? I know for a fact that both of us would be hard pressed for us to introduce someone else to our kids because, I mean, I'm not saying we're awesome, but I mean, we're fucking awesome, as people. No, seriously. But as him introducing another woman to they're not even kids, they're adults. They're just, they would want their dad to be happy, just like they would want their mother to be happy. But there's no man I can introduce to them that will ever take the place of him.
Yeah,
it might be like, yo, what's up? And then probably won't give the dude a time of day. And same thing with the girls, like, yeah, hi. Or like, that's it. There's nothing more. Just a hello. Don't look for that person to be like, yo, do you wanna or come over? They're not doing that.
Again, you never know. Like, we're talking about things that we can't.
Hypotheticals.
Yeah.
They're hypotheticals.
But they're very possible.
Yeah.
At the same time. But you just never know. I think at the end of the day, so what would you do? What would you do?
Okay, so at this age that I'm at right now, and we just said we're done,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even feel the need to introduce no dude to my kids. I honestly don't.
Her situation is way
I
different.
don't.
So this person never becomes worthy enough.
I'm not saying they're not worthy.
Enough in your life. Or it could be a point where you guys are looking to.
Do you know what type of shoes?
Again.
I don't know that I'm gonna get married again.
I'm not feeling shoes. I'm just saying.
I don't know that I would get married again.
No, but just saying.
And I'm not saying that because I don't love marriage. I'm just saying that I'm protecting my assets.
Let's just say you did. God damn it. So fucking crazy.
We're gonna cut that out.
Let's just say you did.
Okay.
Say this man knocked you off your fucking feet.
Woo!
You not gonna to your kids?
I guess yes, but I don't.
She just don't see nobody else knocking them off.
Exactly.
I can't see. I don't see it. Yeah.
You can't force it. I completely understand. Like,
because I could be very private. No, but okay. So let me say this.
Because
okay,
right now they got that relationship that is going to
so
last.
I'm gonna put a morbid thing on it because him and I have talked about this. God forbid if I died, right? Or God forbid, right? I would want him to find somebody. Like, you don't want to be by yourself. You don't want to be like you want to feel loved. You want to feel some sort of, what's the word? Like companionship. It's important as a human being. So I would want him to find that something and beyond the sexual aspect. I'm talking about like just the
connection.
Yes. So I would want him to find somebody to do that. Now, with that being said, this is different circumstances. So if I'm gone, should he bring someone in and introduce? I mean, I would hope that my kids would accept her.
Yeah.
To know that dad don't want to be by himself. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the right thing.
Pulling good to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just needs to know that whatever was, given to him, like she ain't getting shit. That's it. Everything goes to my kids.
Yeah.
She ain't getting shit. I'm telling you right fucking now. Bitch ain't getting nothing. I better not die. She ain't getting nothing. So hang it up, bitch. We cutting that out.
I'm just at a point now, whoever I connect with, I would need to see in them that they would, I guess, mesh well. Especially
who wouldn't want
that? With my boys.
You want that.
Yeah.
You want them to mesh with all your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do.
But reality.
No, I only say them because I know
they're giving a hard time.
They don't give me a hard time. As long as,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once I know that they are all right with it and they even acting cordial with them, then I know it's okay. And there's only been 2 situations like that. With them.
If my son came in the first minute interested in giving them a pound here, what's up, whatever, but what's wrong with you? You know this dude? Did you even vet him yet? Like, you need to be, or really fun.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
And see, I don't get that from them, so.
Yeah.
Just do. I expect them. But at some point, when I'm telling you, to me, and that you can see it and you're witnessing it yourself, I want you to be respectful of this person that bring it to my life. So that's what.
So that's as an adult, but as a kid, it's tougher because if they, especially if the dad's in their life or not, or if it's just tougher when they're younger. Yeah.
Explain to your dad. I had this conversation, and I had to make it very clear that I will never be replaced. I'm gonna always be these kids' mothers. They will never ever call no one else mom.
That's right.
They don't have no reason to.
That's right.
Need to.
I don't even like the word stepmom. I don't like none of that shit. They have one.
That's right.
And I'm still here.
That's right.
So I had to make that very clear. And I would, if you on the other foot, and I had to listen. Tell my kids, you only got one mom,
one dad.
You got one dad.
Yep.
That's it.
And you have to get the utmost respect all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if things work out where you have a meaningful relationship at some point with whoever's other significant person, and you feel comfortable having certain conversations with them, I wouldn't say I 100% like it. I would rather you come to me first.
That's fair.
Parent, but I understand that you're developing a relationship with this person because you do want that to happen.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna go talk to this person about me though. So
I know that's right. Yeah.
But you're gonna have you should be able to feel comfortable and not feel scared like my mom don't want me talking to this person because that's not the
right feeling. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That, I'm number one. I'm your only one. I'm the only mother. And this is your only dad.
She said, "I'm one of one, the only one."
Only.
That's right. No, for real.
That's how I've always felt. Yeah.
Kids understand. Like, I'm not replacing your dad. Your dad is your dad.
That's correct.
I'm just not with me and your dad, just not together.
Yeah.
I want you guys to be okay with that. It has nothing to do with you guys. It's just things didn't work out. But we all got to be happy at some point, and we're finding people to be happy with. Unfortunately, we couldn't be finding that with each other, but we want to go find it and explore it with somebody else.
Yeah.
And we want you guys to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So just know, 1 and 1. That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So in the spirit of the F them kids episode, like
she trying to be politically correct. Fuck them kids.
I think the F-bomb quite a bit on this episode.
I mean, the reality is, again, it's about bringing your kids up. For me, it's about bringing your kids up in a way that you hopefully don't have to say that, like in perpetuity. And like that's the way, like a Brian McKnight situation. Yeah. Because like I mentioned as a disclaimer earlier, there, as a parent, everything's not always going to be rosy. Yeah. Sometimes that's real talk. Like sometimes it's like, you come home, they'll do something that really like, come on, you know what I mean? So everything ain't gonna be rosy, and it's okay. But some of their fucked upness, where it's like we need to be held accountable. Some of it, because some of
not
it is
all of it.
Not what I'm saying. Some of it, we listen. We're responsible for giving them the foundation.
Yes,
but at the end of the day, it is like I said, 50% is what they get out their experience. Right. So if we didn't give them the proper foundation, that may contribute to the fuck them kids. Yeah. The real talk. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to like that's all I've got. That's all I got to say on that. So, but hopefully y'all don't be feeling this way about your kids.
Hopefully, you guys have wonderful, amazing kids, and you are wonderful, amazing parents, and never have to feel to be out there.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be like trying to teach. I don't know about y'all. This is the last thing I'll say, but this shit. Johnny had 5 apples. You ever tried to do homework with these motherfuckers? Johnny got 5 apples. Oh my god, I couldn't do it. Richard had to do it because he be like, okay, wait. Now listen here.
What about when they changed how they did that?
Oh, that Common Core shit. I can't fuck with that. My kids would
stuff that they're doing right now.
You know what I told my kids? Listen, don't come ask me for your help
because I can't help you.
No, not even. Don't come ask me for help if you're gonna sit here and tell me that Mr. So and So said this is how you do it. You go ask Mr. So and So for help. You stay after school or you ask him for extra help. Don't come in here and say I'm telling you how to do it wrong. Did we get to the same answer or not?
No, we used to scare the shit out of them. And it's not even, when you be like, okay, Johnny had 3 apples. Sarah gave him 2. How many apples you got now? They be sitting there, be fucking be like, 7. Like, god damn. 5, motherfucker. 5. You ready to be like, yo. But
some of those videos that I've been watching on
them shit's
IG,
real.
Oh my God. But it's out into the universe now. Like,
so don't be fucking your kids up like
exactly
in real life. Oh.
Right. I just want to be clear. I just want to be clear. I say fuck them kids all the time, but trust and believe. All 3 of my kids are my heart. I will do anything for them within my means.
Even they all grown ass.
Exactly. Yes, I know I'm supposed to be there, but not all the time. I pick and choose my battles now. And
for sure.
That's okay. And that's okay. They're grown.
And that's the best advice you can give too, because there are gonna be moments. Listen, you're gonna have some great moments with your kids. You're gonna have some. Because they got their growing phases. They got their growing stages. Right? Because I know between the ages of freaking 11 and 16. And it was for both genders. It didn't matter. I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill these kids. Either I'm gonna kill them or they gonna kill me. Somebody gonna be dead.
It was a little different with I have to disagree on that because you have 2 girls.
No, my son too.
I had 1 and it was different because with her, I was a firm believer. There's only 1 bitch in this house.
It wasn't even about that. It was the mouth. It was just the mouth.
But that's the age group. That's
they want to talk back to you. They want to debate something with you. And it's not a guy.
They didn't talk back to me as much as my daughter did. That's why it's a difference. Yeah,
that's the age.
Yeah. You went word for word.
But you know what? This is the last thing I think I want to bring up on this topic. And this is real seriously, real talk. I think there's some parents, you're too much in their shit. You're too much in their business. Like to the point where you don't even have a life of your own. Like when you're too much, you're not giving. To me, that is a detriment to their ability to grow.
To
learn. When you are too much and doing too much, fully functional adults, because you're handicapping.
Yeah.
Like they can't make decisions on their own. They can't do. They're coming to because they can't even fucking function.
Yeah.
And that to me, that's not raising someone that's gonna be like, you can be with them, but at some point they gotta be able to do shit on their own.
And see, that's me growing up. My father was very, very strict.
Yeah.
And that was something that I always said I would never do with my kids.
Yeah.
So, and it made it hard for me because I tried not to be a friend to them. But at the same time, I also was the cool mom.
Yeah.
Because I had understanding of what they were going through.
It's that balance.
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta have that balance. Yeah.
I think it's situational, right? So it depends on at what age in their life when you say, I'm stepping back from this, you do this on your own. Or stepping back from this, you do this on your own.
Yeah.
If you get stuck, come, I'll help you figure it out.
Exactly.
But go try first.
And figure it out. Yeah.
Every little thing, try first. So it's at certain ages and certain things that you got to step back and say, figure this out. But damn well, when I think between the ages of, when they get to 25, they really should be doing a lot more. Maybe even
21.
I'm saying
you gotta
21.
You gotta start early. You gotta start earlier.
It's too old.
No, you're probably right. But I'm saying in terms of like full, because our kids still live in our house and they fucking.
I still.
Right. No, I know what you're saying. But what I'm saying to you is like, it depends on certain things. And I agree, 21, when you legal to do every fucking thing.
You figure the shit out.
Yeah.
And I'm there for advice.
Yeah.
You know, and counsel.
I agree with 21. I'm just saying, but like, even some things start even before that. When you start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, look.
Oh, for sure. I always use this analogy. I got a rope tied around my kid. They're out and they're skating on the ice rink.
Okay.
Right? And all of a sudden, the ice path is a little sketchy and they fall in. It breaks.
Okay.
I'm there, I'm the tether. So I let them do what they want to do.
Yeah.
Figure it out. They're skating around, all of a sudden dipping. Oh shit, I fell in. I'm there to pull you back. I'm there to help you out when you need it.
Okay.
When you get to that point. Sometimes before you skating around that thin ice, I'm like, hey, I may say some shit. Like, hey, you might want to, then you know that. I'm going to listen.
Right. So, you got it.
That's
They
correct.
don't want to be told everything.
That's right.
And if you do tell them something, tell them. Don't.
And let them figure it
And
out.
see, that's how I was. And people used to, my mom used to get on me about that sometimes,
But
saying,
we follow up.
I done said it once. I may go as far as telling you twice, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself and telling you what you should be doing. I'm not.
You gotta figure. But that's sometimes people. What's that? I don't remember the old saying, but the heart. I can't remember the saying, but sometimes motherfuckers gotta learn when they get burnt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And then they'll learn. Like, don't touch that oven. Don't touch that oven. They touch the oven. Like, I told you. They have to learn sometimes.
Because making mistakes is important too, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's how you going to learn if you don't make a mistake.
Oh, yes.
Exactly. Cover and stand, get back up and try
resilience.
Again.
That's correct. Yes.
Everything is being done for you. You're going to always be a little wimp in the corner crying.
Little bitch. Sorry.
exactly.
I don't want to raise no little bitch asses. Like, no, and I shouldn't even say that as a, but you gotta let them.
You gotta have boys that's sensitive, but at the same time, you ain't gonna be crying over every little thing neither.
And see, here's the thing: I stay away from the female male thing. A lot of things, because I will tell you, my son and I didn't see a difference between my son and my daughters at a certain age range. When I just wanted to be like, I'm gonna kick your ass today. Somebody's dying today. Like, I'm telling you, between the ages of 11 and 16,
someone's going down.
Somebody's going down. It was like, because I could tell them, I said, listen, and my motto with them always is like, listen, we not going to be friends, goddammit. I'm the mother. You ain't going to always want to hear what I have to say. You're not going to always like what I got to say. And the same thing goes for when you say shit to me, I'm not going to always want to hear. But at the end of the day, I'm the mother, right? So, but it was dope. Between 11 and 16, all three of them, and I want to just...
I get it. I
don't really think it's a male and female thing sometimes. If you have a mouthy kid, you have a mouthy fucking kid. And my son was a mouthy ass little boy.
Sometimes and at some point,
champion was, but not to the point. Like, it's now that his mouth is reckless, and they got to look, nigga, bye.
But I think sometimes too, we don't like some of that spicy, that fire that the kid has. And I'm saying this because I was that kid. I was the mouthy one. I was the clapback. Before they even said clapback, I had a clapback for the ass. And I just, so you don't want to stunt that growth. You want to fuel it. You want them to have, that is who that person is at their core. They're fiery. Janine would have been fucking me up. But, on that note, maybe we should end it.
I allowed them to express themselves to a certain degree.
To a certain degree. To a certain degree,
nigga,
yeah.
now you getting disrespectful.
So there's one way you can express yourself
without being disrespectful.
Yep. I'm the parent.
Correct. And I wasn't, when I say I was fiery, I didn't like raise my voice. I probably said some slick shit, but I didn't curse all the time. In my head. No, in my head I was cussing motherfuckers out as a kid. But I would say something slick to the point.
You got popped up.
Oh, a lot. My grandma used to tell me, girl, I'm gonna break your face. Yep. She meant that shit.
Yeah, sure
and
did.
So she was the one I was like, all right, I'm shut up. You know, but I be mumbling some shit under my breath, like, I wish you would. You know, some shit.
And that even made it worse.
No, but that's
because you be in a whole nother room and my mom heard your ass. Yep.
Yes. Oh, that's nothing. Don't roll your eyes. I'm sitting there. I won't. I'll be like this.
Don't roll your eyes. Don't suck your teeth. But don't mumble under your breath.
Then I got that face.
Your eyes wasn't so bad, but if you sucked, because you know my mother's from the island. Ain't nobody kissing no teeth.
No kissing no teeth. Kissing no teeth.
Because that was an ass whipping in the making.
Nah. So, I mean, but that also goes... We're not going to... This will be like a long conversation around the gentle parenting thing, which none of us really subscribe to. But I will say... on that strength, that is something about allowing your kid to actually express themselves and not just stunting like whatever they're trying to, because that makes it, if you keep stopping them from being like expressing themselves, they grow into be adults that may not have the words or get worked over because they don't, you know. So it's a balance, you know. So in any case, I think this was a good episode.
It was.
As long as y'all know, we love our kids.
Yes, but fuck them.
Oh, Jesus.
And on that note,
cheers, ladies.
Cheers, ladies.